So for, I don't know, later this week, we do like a what we learned kind of thing, like a 10 takeaways or whatever. And then we could also do like a brief thing where we reflect on our my guys too.
Yeah.
And we can incorporate that into the like what we learned, obviously, right? So.
Definitely recap that. No, I'm definitely down in conjunction to that mock. But first viewer in here, we got Javon saying Packers won. Let's go. Alvin Kamara put up 56.2 to help me get half of my points. There you go.
Yeah. Shout out to Alvin Kamara for the $1,500 on my bank account.
Oh yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Hey, Alvin Kamara definitely held the load for Derrick Henry for you this week, eh?
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I hope you benched him.
Man. Pain is all I ever know.
I'm guessing someone played the Adams-Rodgers stack.
Damn. I mean, we can make that a little takeaway right now. Adams-Rodgers stack, and we expected it to be third wheeled by Aaron Jones, and it just so happened to be A.J. Dillon.
So. Yeah, and it just so happened that I played Aaron Jones in my MVP slot.
Pain.
At
least you didn't play Derrick Henry in your MVP slot.
No, but I literally had Adams in it, and at last second I fucking swapped out Aaron Jones for it. Pain. I was like, I'm gonna fade Derrick Henry this week, which was smart, but I should have faded Aaron Jones too.
I feel that. I'm gonna miss you guys. You don't have to miss us.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
We're all off season, baby boy. Let's get it. Pain.
Yeah.
Pain. Because of Engram. Yeah, Engram sucks. The Bucks dominate. Yeah, I mean that could be a takeaway too. The Bucks skill players.
Yeah. I mean, the Lions had no coaching staff. Like their whole coaching staff was like wiped out by COVID. So I would have hoped we done that. Like I saw some people being like, oh, well, like they shouldn't be taking too much away from this. And I guarantee you those same exact people, if we didn't blow them out, would have been like, you needed to blow this team out.
Yeah.
Like, shut up. Like what else do you want us to do? We literally put up 5 touchdowns in the first half.
Is there any Bucks skill position player that like disappointed from a fantasy aspect?
No, and that's what I said during the game. I was like, okay, so we got one for Gronk right off the rip. We got 2 for Godwin. We got 1 for Evans, and then AB got 1 too.
Two Evans too, by the way.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, he had 2, and then even Fournette got into the end zone too.
Heck, even Blaine Gabbert was contributing.
Yeah, like dude, if Brady played that whole game and you just combine the quarterback stats to the 2 teams, or to the 2 players, you would have had like a 50-point day from Tom Brady. Speaking of Tom Brady. I always talk about how if you win your championship, the guy that won you your championship, you got to buy his jersey. Yeah. Well, I refuse to own a New Orleans Saints jersey because I hate the Saints. So I bought a Brady jersey instead. He was my second highest scoring player. So I'm going to have the all pewter color rush or whatever Brady jersey in the background pretty soon.
There you go. Do you think Diggs will get 17 PPR points? I mean, Bush hopes so.
Yeah. So in our listener league, me and Mike, the guy who was hosting our trade targets, and he will be back on the channel making more content very soon. Me and him are going at it. I'm up 1 point against him. I believe I was down 42 going into Sunday Night Football, and Devontae Adams happened for me. So now I'm up 1 point. And I have Diggs. He has Beasley and a full PPR. So I basically need Diggs to just outscore Beasley. Yeah. By like 1.5. He could not outscore him, but he would only need like 1.5 more.
And also worth noting, the guy was the guy in my league that was in our live stream, Josh. I'm not sure if you remember yesterday.
Yeah.
So okay, so he everything was looking so bleak for him going into Sunday Night Football. Like he was down big. He didn't really have a chance. He had the Adams and Rodgers stack. And now, he's probably still going to lose, unfortunately, but he's up 7, and the other guy has Josh Allen. So at least he's got some type of chance. Like Josh Allen has a stinker or, something. He's probably not going to win, but like just the fact that he was able to get in a leading position, having 2 players down by like 60 points is just insane to me.
Yeah.
My dad says hi. Tell Papa Lepre, the boys at FSC say hello.
Yeah.
Almost came back against Kamara and Godwin 70. Oof.
Yeah, in the league. So the league I'm talking about with against Mike, I actually play against. I played against Kamara.
Then you also had like Adams and fucking like
Cooks and Higgins.
Both your teams just popped.
Oh yeah, like T Higgins went off. I played him in both leagues too.
For the record, like if you guys don't know that, like this is a half PPR league, and like the projected score of that championships is like 180 to 175 right now. Oh, it's full PPR. Okay, 180 to 175. Like that just goes to show. Also worth noting, I put up 177 half PPR in my third place game.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Oh, dude, the league where I lost Eric Ebron and lost by 4 points last week, I put up 196 points this week. I would have smoked the winner of the league.
Yeah, I would.
And that was with Metcalf playing like crap and stuff because I had Adams, I had Evans, Brady stack. Like, oh man, I would have smoked them.
For real. Just lost by 16, and AJ didn't perform as well as he could have.
Yeah, AJ
Brown.
Like, yeah, the Titans really just didn't have the ball for the entire first half, which didn't help. And then, the conditions and all that kind of stuff, it just wasn't ideal. Like, I don't see how Mike Vrabel and Arthur Smith don't like watch game film and be like, why doesn't AJ get the ball 15 times a game? Like every time they're in an offensive slump, what got them out of it? Throwing the ball to AJ Brown. Literally, that was what got them out of it. Not running the ball with Derrick Henry. He wasn't running the ball very well. They start throwing slants to AJ Brown, all that kind of stuff. He's breaking tackles, getting first downs. Like, why don't you do this every play?
Oh, it makes so sense. I mean, basically AJ Brown, as weird, like it doesn't sound weird, but like he's the perfect fit for what they want to do on offense. You want to pound the rock with Derrick Henry, play action, AJ Brown on a crosser, like he's gonna get yards after the catch. You just know he may honestly be the most physical yards after catch receiver in the league, and I don't even I can't even comprehend right now.
There's very similar. There's a couple guys like him in the league, and like him and Chris Godwin are so similar. Like they're exactly the same type of receiver. I think AJ Brown's probably a little bit more physical than Chris Godwin. I think Godwin's a bit better of a route runner, but those two guys, DJ Moore is also a lot like those guys, and Deebo Samuel when he's healthy is also like those guys. Like there's a body type. They're like wing backs, the size of running backs at receiver.
Yeah, like when I watch AJ Brown play and the type of receiver he is, he just reminds me of like Dez back in the day. You'd catch a slant, you'd chug off 2 defenders on your way to a 65-yard touchdown. It's such a similar type of play. They're never going to run like a 4-3 or a low 4-4. But this guy at 4-5, breaking tackles at the 80.
I think he cracked the 4.4s when he ran. Did he run 4.48 or something?
Did he? Yeah,
he ran 4.48. I'm pretty sure.
I thought he ran similar to like 4.52 like Dez, but either way, like 4.48.
I think AJ cracked the 4.4s. Hold on.
Yeah, let's check it.
Checking it right
now. Also, if you guys seen the way this guy is built, like he's built like a fucking freight train.
He's a Mack truck.
Yeah. He.
4.49. He broke the 4.4.
There you go. So, but yeah, no, it's definitely fun to watch this guy just shed people off in the open field. Rob helped me win by 3 points. Yeah, 2 catches and 2 touchdowns. Like that guy just dominated early, took a seat after they were up and said, see you later. Like I did my day.
Who, Gronk?
Gronk, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
The dominant performance really almost came back down from 70 to nothing.
I was up going into Sunday's games. I was up 105 to nothing on my opponent. And the only players I'd play were Kamara, Brady, Ayuk, and who shit the bed, and the Bucs defense. And I was up 105 to 0. He needs, I think he could still technically win today, but I already have the money because he needs he needs 87 points between Josh Allen and Cole Beasley.
Yeah. That like button, yeah. I mean, Javon brought it up. As I always say, if you guys are new to the channel, if you guys are watching right now, you're watching this live stream, make sure you go hit that like button. It helps us a ton in that YouTube algorithm and growing the channel. And again, if you've never seen us before, I'm like, who's that guy in the bandana? Who's the guy with the Bucs jersey and Lawrence Taylor behind him? We'll find out. Hit the subscribe button and find out. Doesn't hurt. If you don't like the content, unsubscribe later. Give it a chance. You never know what you like. So, anyways, next question. Caesar says, I need Allen and Bass to outscore Beasley by 23 in a full PPR championship where neither my opponent nor I are projected to have 100 points. Well,
so you guys had a drizzler.
Yeah, I think he does this. I mean, Allen should be good for. I think it's going to come down to Bass versus Beasley, to be honest.
I don't think so. I think it's tough because Josh Allen, he 100% has the ceiling. Everyone knows that, but this is a game. I don't think he's going to have a huge game in this one. I think he's going to have like a 20-point day. I don't see him having he's not going to play like he did against the Broncos. Like the Broncos game they had no corners on the opposing defense.
Yeah. He had 38. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you guys do this week? Okay, so I won one championship. Another one I lost in the finals to Sexy Pats, where if I made a couple correct start-sit decisions, maybe
Who didn't you start?
Oh, a couple of guys were a mess. Again, like I was setting my lineup while we were live streaming, so I wasn't really like paying attention fully. And I ended up putting by accident Marvin Hall in instead of Jamison Crowder without thinking. I know. But either way, I probably would have lost because I think I was going to sit Michael Gallup regardless. And yeah. So GG's there. Third place game home league. I ended up scoring 180 points and winning, of course. Week too late. I would have won the championship if I made it this week, but c'est la vie. But yeah, other than that, just a fun season. Ready to get going and ready to start research going into next year. Dynasty season's approaching us as well. Like, fun times.
Yeah, in terms of how I did, I won my big championship, my home league. You guys are going to see, I can't point correctly, over there where I'm pointing, there's going to be a shelf there with my trophy on it, and it's staying there, and it's it's like this. It's like it's a huge trophy, right? It's going to stay there, and it's got my name on it, and it's going to stay there for all the videos that I do. And once it's gone, it means I've lost the trophy, and I'm going to leave an empty shelf there.
Yeah. And you're going to want to get it back at that point.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I've been talking to my league about getting a nice trophy, getting a nice, like, sit down, suits up, ready to go type drafts. But
we were going to do that this year because we normally do like live drafts, but we've never done them like with a board. Like we usually do live drafts where we're all on our laptops. I'm like, yo, let's do one with like an actual draft board, get some suits, get some, the auditorium at my school is like always like vacant and shit. I was like, yo, let's go to the one auditorium at my school and like do a fucking draft there. It'd been so sick. And then COVID happened. So
yeah,
ruins everything.
I'll definitely talk to my league too, because like that's so much fun. You suit up, you look snazzy, you fucking got your jewelry on, and you head up to that live board and make your picks. And
we're hoping that like by the time we draft in the summer, like we'll all like, I don't know, like be vaccinated or whatever. And we can, we could do a live like get my trophy ceremony or whatever, drop it down on the table. And then I get to, we haven't really decided this yet, but we're like, do I keep the trophy the whole year or do I just keep it for the off season? I'm like, I think I should keep it until I have to give it up.
Keep it until you lose. Keep it until you don't make it.
Because what if I go back to back? Then I just could have had the trophy the whole time.
Yeah, for sure. Talking about that real quick, you're going to need to get a nice little vlogging camera for that, if that happens.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll definitely be taking care of that.
For sure. Incredibly, it was Johnson over Woods. Deontay versus Robert Woods. Pain. Deontay scored, 6 for 70 and a touchdown, right? 7 for 70.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking like a bad decision to start Deontay, or I guess a good decision that you didn't start him at first when he was dropping balls and all that kind of stuff. The Steelers' offense looked like it was complete dog shit. And then Johnson catches like a 60-yard touchdown and everything's okay. It's just how fantasy works.
For sure. I started Zeke over Derrick, so I was lucky that I started Zeke. Yeah, damn. Kudos to you for having the balls to do that, man. Because I don't think I could have personally.
Oh, Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, me neither, but it worked out for him. All my players did solid, but my players never get some 40 points. Oh, okay, so like they just don't have the ceiling. No, I'm messing with you. Lamar, Chubb, Ekeler. Yeah, that's a solid lineup. By the way, I'm going to talk about JT. Where do you think he ends up going into next year's drafts?
Probably top 8.
I was about to say, I'm like,
he's going to go in the top 8, I think.
Like, okay, because you got your 4 running backs set in stone. Like they're going to be there.
I wouldn't argue if you took them right after those guys.
I wouldn't either.
I don't think I would do it, but I wouldn't argue anyone if they said they picked him at 5 or whatever.
I don't. Personally, I would have trouble taking him over. Like,
it kind of depends what happens at quarterback for the Colts too. Like, I think they're going to have to upgrade their QB situation. I don't think they're going to go into the next season with Phillip Rivers. I think they're going to.
Do you take JT or do you take like a J or Kelce or Adams?
I would take JT easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, by the way,
Adams maybe like is a lot closer, but I would definitely take JT over Kelce.
Yeah. Fair enough. The reason why I kind of agree too is people are going to put Kelce in that mid first, and they're going to have like Darren Waller and George Kittle like the 2-3 turn, and like give me the value at the 2-3 turn of the Kittles and the Wallers instead. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even think Waller goes that early.
You don't think so?
No, I bet he goes mid 3rd round.
And if that's the case, I'm going to take that value anytime of the day.
Yeah, I bet he goes in the mid 3rd round. Maybe even sometimes slips to the 4th. I don't think he's going to go that high.
Damn.
I don't know what it is about Waller. I just think people have like the stigma against him because he's on the Raiders, Derek Carr and stuff.
I mean, I'll take 100 catches, 1,200 yards, and 12 touchdowns like
Yeah,
any day of the week. Road to 3K subs.
We got to get to 2.5K first, and then we'll get to 3K.
2.5K by 2021. Who's trying to get us there? Waiting on you guys.
Yeah.
If you're not subscribed, go subscribe. We're at about 2290 if I checked correctly. So, how many points do you think the Bills will do?
Cam capable of melting down in completely dramatic fashion. So there's a good chance that the Bills have a really good day in this one. They're not a big like defensive touchdown team. I believe that against the Steelers, that was like their first defensive touchdown in like 3 years. So I don't think their ceiling is super high. If you need like a 30-point game out of them, I don't think that's going to happen. But I think they're probably going to hold them to like not a lot of points, get some sacks, maybe a couple turnovers. They should have like a 10-point game. But you guys,
that'd definitely be solid. I really hope next season isn't riddled with so many injuries. Hopefully not. I mean, heck, if you guys watch that,
it's probably going to be. That's
heck,
how football works.
If you guys watch that FSC draft, you know how badly injuries affected even both of us, to be honest. Like, you dealt with your own, and then I lost fucking McCaffrey for every game pretty much. So
yeah, and then I made the championship.
Yeah, Jets won 2 games in a row with no Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, they choked the heck out of that.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing at that point. Like, the only reason you don't fire Adam Gase midseason is because he can get you the number 1 overall pick. Like, literally, that was the reason you should have kept Adam Gase. Just ride yourself to the number 1 overall pick, and now you're stuck with the decision of do we even pick a quarterback now?
Yeah, for real. I mean, like, at this point, if you're the Jets, like, do you take like a Sewell, or do you trade down, or do you just take your top-rated quarterback after Lawrence? Like,
see the guy that tried to tell me Mekhi Becton was better than Wirfs on Twitter?
That's insane. Like,
I pulled up the stats. Wirfs is literally better in every statistical category than Becton.
Now, he goes
left tackles, right tackles, different level of competition. I'm like, that's false, but sure.
Do you know how much of a Becton stan I am? Like, even like going into the process last year, I was in love with Becton. Like, big mover, fucking 360-pound with good feet. But Wirfs is the best rookie tackle.
Wirfs has legitimately played like a top 3 right tackle in the NFL this year.
Yeah, like, you could make the argument he's the best. Like, who else would be there? Like, maybe
like in terms of who's actually just better, I would take like Ryan Ramczyk and Mitchell Schwartz over him, and probably Lane Johnson as well.
Healthy Lyle Collins makes a case, but like, aside from that,
and Wirfs is right up there. And I honestly I don't know what they're gonna do next year in terms of Donovan Smith's contract isn't guaranteed. They could theoretically move Wirfs to left, or they just keep him at right and maybe draft like a Liam Eichenberg at the back of the first round or something like that.
That's solid. I swear, in every mock draft, when I do like a first round mock, the Bucks end up taking Jalen Phillips at edge, and I'm like, yo, if you guys know me, like, Jalen Phillips is one of my favorite players in this entire class, so it would pay me to see him go to Bush's team. But
I think we need a lot of edge depth though too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really a big fan of taking an offensive tackle. I think Donovan Smith's just fine. I think people overreact to him all the time. They're like, oh man, look at this play where Donovan Smith gets put on his ass. It's like, I can show you 10 plays where Teron Armstead gets put on his ass. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Like, again, like, if Jalen Phillips is there for you guys at like 25 or 26 or whatever you guys pick.
Yeah.
Imagine that edge rush rotation. You got Shaq, you got JPP, you got Phillips coming in, and who's your next edge? Who's your backup?
Anthony Nelson.
That's it. I wanted to say Carl Nassib for a second.
No, he's basically just Carl Nassib though. Anthony Nelson's looked pretty good as a third edge, but I think he needs to stay a third edge.
Yeah,
like, he can't be a starter at any point. And we're so lucky that Pierre-Paul and Barrett haven't gotten hurt, because we would have been screwed. Like, with Vea going down was a big fucking loss. Our defense has been so much worse since he went down.
Facts. Let's get into some more. Same. I need 13 points from Diggs for the shit. Pause my outlook full PPR.
You got it.
You got that. Javon at destroying COVID.
I got affected. My home league, I think it's a little impressive that I won my championship, because no one was even affected by COVID but me. I had Ayuk, he had COVID a couple of times. I had Dobbins, who had COVID. I had fucking the 2 Titans guys, Jonnu and AJ Brown. They had a bunch of games moved around and shit earlier in the season. I had a lot of COVID. I had Rojo in the championship, couldn't use him because he has COVID or is on the COVID list. Like, I was really affected by COVID. No one else in my league really was.
Pain. Incredibly, it was Elliott over Pollard. Yeah. I mean,
what were our bets? Didn't I smoked you on one of them? Didn't I have Lamb against someone? Didn't I?
Oh, yeah. I don't want to talk about that one.
Yeah, that one I smoked you on.
So Gage versus CD, like that's a smoke show. But I had Henderson who barely outperformed Pollard, so I'll take the win there.
He got hurt too, didn't he?
Yeah, Henderson got hurt, and so did Pollard did. But yeah, Henderson got hurt. And the last one was Hurts versus Russ. I think Russ outscored him by like 0.5.
Really, so, Russ won that?
Yeah, because Hurts had like 18.9. Russ had like 19.4.
That's the biggest takeaway. We told you guys don't get cute and start Jalen Hurts over
Rodgers.
Even Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert didn't have a great game, but like still, like a lot of people were like starting Jalen Hurts over Tom Brady and starting Jalen Hurts over Deshaun Watson and starting him over Aaron Rodgers. Like stop. Like we knew this was going to happen. This was so obvious. Everyone was so all the way in on Jalen Hurts that it was just bound to happen.
Yeah. Also, you want to do a couple for tonight? What even like player comparisons can we do? Because there's like nothing.
Let's do the slot receivers. Give me Myers.
Myers versus Beasley.
Yeah, give me Myers. Dead ass.
I'll take that.
I know I'm like losing that bet probably, but I think Myers has a good game in this one. I don't know. I played him in my DFS lineup. I actually have some faith in him.
Now, what else do we have?
There's like nothing else that I want. Unless you want to bet these gross running backs. I put Moss in my lineup.
I was about to say Moss. I don't know, like Moss versus fucking. Other than Harris, who's in the Pats backfield other than James White? Michelle's back. Shit, yeah, I forgot.
It's gross.
We'll just keep it at that. I don't fucking want to get into
that.
Top it. Yeah. He's especially with the hype.
He's not going in the second round unless he like slips like a little bit because of like an injury or something on the offensive line before the season. Like I don't think Jonathan Taylor gets out of the first. I just don't. Also, which is crazy. And we'll both personally admit that we were dead wrong. Not about Jonathan Taylor. He was my RB1 going into the class. But for the first half of the season, I thought he was a bust.
Yeah, same. Just want to mention it real quick. At this rate, with the hype everybody's getting, all these rookies are getting and everything like that, Zeke Elliott's going to be a second-round pick. And if Zeke Elliott is a second round,
dude, I told you there's a chance that he goes in the third, man. I'm telling you right now, he's not going to go that high.
That value is so misappropriated. Like, I don't. This is a guy who's a top 5 back when things don't go fucking haywire.
I already know my big shitty like obsession and like the pull your hair out guy of the like draft like this year was Kenyon Drake, right? We're like, oh my god, but like what's the like ceiling with Kenyon Drake and like but what's the floor and stuff? Like J.K. Dobbins, that guy next year. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be J.K. Dobbins.
I'm easily taking him though. I'm taking that gamble at 100 times out of 100.
And the coaching staff doesn't use feature backs though. Like the feature backs to them are 55-60% snap share dudes, and they get like 15 to 18 touches.
Okay, then he could be Aaron Jones for me.
He could, but that's it's hard to rely on someone like that for Aaron Jones production. Like only Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara, and Austin Ekeler can really deliver that consistently. And even Austin Ekeler gets more volume than that now, so it's not even him.
No, Eckler's going to be a back-end first-round pick as well. Probably Nick Chubb's going to be in that range. I still, like, again, I would still take Zeke in that tier. Like, I don't know why people are fucking...
The guys that you just mentioned, I'd take them all over Zeke. I would take Zeke over Dobbins. I'll give you that.
I'd easily take Zeke over Chubb. The receiving work is
I would not take Zeke over Chubb.
Receiving work is way too much, man. Like, again, like, they're the same tier, in my opinion, like tier 2-3 area, but, like, in any type of if you're standard, maybe I take Chubb, but like in any type of PPR, like I'll take Zeke.
Nick Chubb is borderline Derrick Henry territory with like I don't give a shit about his receiving work type of. Like I actually don't care if Nick Chubb gets receiving work. I really don't.
Well, like even on a points per game basis, like Zeke was ahead of him when like things didn't go like completely south.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about points per game. You got to somewhat project forward too, and I think Nick Chubb's a better player, and I think he's a better runner. I think the offense runs through him. Whereas next year the offense runs through Dak for the Cowboys and the receivers. So I don't think Zeke is the offense in Dallas anymore, which is a good thing to some degree because he's going to have lighter boxes and he'll probably get some scoring opportunities. But Nick Chubb is that team. Like that's why I like Nick Chubb.
I don't think there's any debate at this point. Like Nick Chubb is a better NFL running back. Like I don't think that's even close because like Nick Chubb has just proven it these past 2 years. He's a better running back than Zeke.
Yeah.
But when I'm looking at overall uses in the offense, scoring opportunities, everything like that. Like
the offense is definitely in favor of Zeke Elliott. I'll give you that. But the offensive philosophy is in favor of Chubb.
Oh, for sure. But like I honestly think like a full healthy season with Dak, like Zeke's near in that 65, 70 catch type area because of how he was used when Dak was healthy, even this year, right?
I still think that Zeke, though, the only problem I have with him is I think he's going to be more of like, I don't want to call him Todd Gurley or David Johnson, but I think that's the kind of production you're going to get out of him, where it's like, it's not efficient. He needs volume and he needs like touchdowns.
I don't think he's at that point yet. Again, like we're judging him based off of a year where he literally all 5 of their starting offensive line have missed multiple games, which is insane to think about. And like 3 of those guys are like first team all pro type talents. So like,
I agree. I think that's valid, but other teams had offensive line injuries too.
Yeah,
and
that's fair. Budweiser, Miller, or Coors. I'll let you start this one off, but I got my conviction.
I think I like Coors the best personally.
Yeah, I was gonna say I prefer Coors.
I like them all though. I don't like Bud Light, but Budweiser, Miller, Miller Light. I usually drink. I don't usually drink regular Miller, and then Coors Light. I like those. I like those beers. Those are all solid.
Agreed. I'll tell you right now, like I stick to like when I'm just casually drinking, I'll stick to like the low calorie Sleeman, just because like I'm trying to like somewhat preserve myself.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like. There are nights where like literally I'll go like 12 beers deep just to look over and say, hey, I just finished 2 6-packs. Cheers. That's fine.
Yeah, no, beer is like the fastest way if you want to gain weight, beer is the fastest way to do so. It's kind of shitty.
Yeah. So I meant
no one could have predicted that.
I did though.
Honestly, like we all knew it was a good matchup. I had him high in my rankings too. I had him like RB14 or whatever, but no one could have predicted that. If I told you David Johnson was going to score like 30 fantasy points or whatever he scored, how would you figure he did it? Receiving volume and touchdowns, probably. Like you wouldn't have predicted him to rush for 150 yards like he did.
Not to mention, I mean, like this guy literally had like 11 carries for like 130 yards. Like he looked good.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's week 1 all over again. So David Johnson, you know what's funny too is like he's gonna be burned in the memory of fantasy players next year, like this game. So they're gonna be like, oh, let's draft him in the 4th round again or the 3rd round again.
Yeah, for sure. People are gonna convince themselves of that.
Yeah, no, they're gonna be like, well, look, did you see how good he was once he was healthy? It's like, he hasn't been healthy for like 4 years though.
Oh, that's definitely going to be a narrative that I'll bite all over. Like,
people did it this year, dude. Like going into the season, everyone was like, he wasn't healthy in Arizona last year.
Same thing with Todd Gurley this year. Like, oh, look at Todd Gurley was a top 15 running back last year. You got to take him.
The game splits are coming for sure. Look at his splits before he had the knee injury. It's like that's why we're off of him, because of the knee injury, not because he's on the field. We knew when he was on the field, he was going to get like scoring opportunities, carries.
How do you think the playoffs will look? Right. Okay, so. First of all, the AFC is pretty much like, except for like the last final team that's going to be in it, is pretty much the top 8 teams.
There's going to be a 10-6 team that misses the playoffs, huh?
Maybe 11-5, bro.
Yeah, maybe
11-5.
Yeah.
Like at this rate, it's definitely possible.
That's
so for the AFC right now, the current standings, you got the Chiefs in first place at 14-1, like ridiculous. Steelers second, 12-3. Bills third, 11-3. Titans fourth, 10-5, and then you got 4 10-5 teams in a row. Dolphins 10-5, Ravens 10-5, Browns 10-5, Colts 10-5. Out of those teams, which one do you think misses out on the playoffs?
I think who do the Colts play?
Colts play against the Jaguars.
Oh, it's not gonna be the Colts then.
No, I think it's gonna be the Dolphins, bro. They play the Bills.
Yeah. Who do the Ravens play? What, the
Bengals?
Yeah, and then the Browns play the Steelers.
Yeah. So
I think it's honestly comes down to the Browns and Dolphins probably. Who misses?
The Titans also play the Texans. Like they should win that game, but like I wouldn't be surprised if just Deshaun Watson, Herculean effort.
They could miss the playoffs.
Yeah, they could if they lose.
Yeah, if the Colts win and they lose, they could miss the playoffs.
Yep. And then let's briefly look at the NFC. So the wild card team. Actually, you know what? The Bears are in it right now.
Yeah. The Bears, if they win out, they're in, and the Cardinals are out.
They're not going to though because they play the Packers this week. So like
the Packers could be resting their starters, dude. I believe. Actually, I don't know. Do they have the number one?
If they lose and both the Saints and the Seahawks win, I believe that the Saints and the Saints clinch it.
I don't think the Seahawks can get the number 1 seed. I'm pretty sure the Saints only can.
Didn't the Seahawks beat the Packers this year? Or they have a tiebreaker over the Packers. I remember hearing that on NFL.
Okay, so maybe the Packers do need to play their starters then.
Yeah. But even if the Cardinals are going to be playing the Rams, and both teams are expected to be without their quarterbacks, apparently.
This week, you mean?
Yeah. Apparently, Kyler Murray's not expected to play, and apparently Jared Goff's not expected to play.
Yeah, like that's I think Tampa Bay. I think is locked into the 5 seed.
Yeah.
I don't think
no, you guys basically are, unless the
all we have
Rams
to do is
and
win
you guys
next
lose.
week or the Rams lose.
Yeah.
And we have the 5 seed, and I'm interested to see who we play. To be honest, like, it's going to be between what is it? Only you or the Washington or the Giants can get it too, right?
If the Giants beat us, they get
And
in. At
Washington loses, they're in the playoffs, right?
If the Giants beat us and the Washington loses, the Giants get in at 6-10.
That's so funny. See. That's why I wanted the 5 seed. And Bruce Arians more or less came out and said today, he was like, "Yeah, we're playing to win," and it's like we want that fucking 5 seed. That's why.
100%. How do y'all determine draft orders in your main leagues? Okay, so the league that
I'm kind of boring. It's just like a random generator.
Yeah,
we need to think of something cool to do. I've always said let's get a sheet of prop bets and do them for the Super Bowl, and then whoever gets the most right can pick their draft order. That's what I've always said we should do to pick draft order, but they don't want to do it. I'm like, let's do some like weird prop bets for the Super Bowl and see who gets the most points.
Or like just all head on a Zoom call and like shoot like have one cup on each, and like whoever like can make your
maybe we'll do something like that this year.
The order like that would be epic too. But man, the Bucs defense helped me out. So
yeah, me too.
I barely survived. Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, literally. If I win, King Chan, if I win this week against Mike, I'll be in the exact same situation. Thank God for Devontae Adams.
Yeah, for real. Who do you think is winning the NFC East?
I think Washington's going to win it.
I think we win it, man. I think the Eagles are going to win this week, man. Like Washington, like maybe without Alex Smith. And if they are with Alex Smith, he's going to miss practice time this week. The Eagles are going to have something to prove because Jalen Hurts, let's be honest here, he's still not guaranteed the starting role for next year. Jalen Hurts is going to come out. Jalen Hurts is going to want to secure, okay, you know what? I am your quarterback one, at least for the short-term future. They're not just going to pack it in because they're out, because people on Twitter want to say, oh, they're out now, they're just going to lose despite the Cowboys. Like, no, like a lot of those guys are playing for job security. So I know
if we've learned anything from JJ Watt's speech.
Yeah, those guys play with passion. So yes, I do think the Eagles upset Washington. Now the matter is, do the Cowboys beat the Giants? We'll find out too. 1:00.
Yeah.
Watch the Jets.
Imagine the Jets move. Dude, I saw some straight bias shit on Twitter. Do you know JC Cornell, like the Draft Network guy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he goes, he has like connections in the building, right? So he's like for the Bucs, and he's like, the Bucs are not signing Dwayne Haskins. They don't want that guy in the locker room or whatever. Or not that guy in the locker room. He's like, he stinks, he's failed. He's like a bad quarterback or whatever. And like a bunch of people were roasting him because he's a UCLA fan. When we got Josh Rosen, he was so excited, right? And he's like, this guy's the future of the franchise. I'm like, didn't you? Everyone's just going, didn't you do the exact same thing when Josh Rosen was signed by us? He's basically proved the same thing that Dwayne Haskins did, only Josh Rosen did it twice.
Yeah, for sure. Not to mention, I mean, Dwayne Haskins is just a worse fucking Jameis Winston. So
that's not even fair comparison. Like the only reason people make that comparison, I'm sorry, is because they look the same. Like that is literally the only reason anyone makes the Jameis Winston Dwayne Haskins comparison. They play nothing alike.
I know.
Like,
I was just trying to mess with you.
Conservative. He's not very mobile. He can't really navigate the pocket. Jameis Winston's completely not that. And then Jameis Winston is much better than Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins can't even throw. It would take Dwayne Haskins for like so much effort to throw 15 touchdowns in a season. Jameis Winston threw 33 last year.
I know. First of all, I was just messing with you.
I know, but sorry, I had to get that out because people were talking about that on Twitter and it bothered the shit out of me.
Hey, at least Dwayne Haskins isn't the third stringer behind Taysom. No, I'm kidding.
Did we answer Caesar's question? He said, which players do you think will go top 5 in most drafts?
Okay,
You'll find that out because we're going to do a way too early mock draft, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the standard ones you're thinking. It's going to be CMC, probably going to be Saquon, probably going to be, or definitely going to be Derrick Henry and Kamara.
I'm not taking Barkley in the top 5.
I am.
No chance.
Maybe at 5, but I'm taking him in the top 5.
I'd take Adams over him in a heartbeat.
Adams is getting to that point where he's like peak Antonio Brown that you take in the top 3, but I think this year's probably going to balance itself out a little bit. Remember how last year was like just, everyone pick running backs, including us. We were like the same thing. I have a feeling this year balances itself out, and Adams, Hill, maybe Kelce, maybe another receiver, Hopkins, maybe they go in the first round instead of like all the entire first round being running backs.
I think if a receiver like other than Hill and Adams sneaks into the first round, it's not gonna be Hopkins. You know who's gonna be? It's gonna be DK Metcalf.
Yeah, there's a chance.
DK
I don't know
Metcalf.
the way he's closed out the season. I don't see him going in the first round.
That's fair. So what round are we drafting? Later than they should be going is what I'm gonna say. Later than they should be going. DJ Chark is gonna be like a 6th round, 7th round type pick, and if he's going there, I am going to own him in 100% of the drafts that I'm in.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair because when DJ Chark is going to be the air yards guy this offseason. I guarantee, like, everyone's going to look back and be like, yo, look at all the air yards he had. Look at all his targets. Every time he was on the field, he got like 8, 9, 10 targets and it would only catch like 2 balls some games. Like, that's just because the offense was terrible. If he has an accurate quarterback, he's going to be a lot better. But I'm not exactly sure how the hype will affect him. I don't think there's a chance that he gets up into the 4th, 5th round range, to be honest. I think the way he's played, the team in general, it's probably just not going to be a thing that we have to worry about with DJ Chark is him going too high.
But if he goes again in that 6-7 area,
plus there's going to be the odd Laviska Shenault stand too that says that he's better than DJ Chark or something. I don't know.
Or heck,
or they draft Kyle Pitts too.
I was just about to say the Jaguars going to end up with Kyle Pitts.
Mm-hmm.
Like scenario, okay, so they're slated to pick at 21 with their 2nd first round pick. Say
Kyle Pitts is not going in the top 15.
I was gonna say, like, say he starts falling and like a team like Minnesota's at 13 and you offer Minnesota like your 1st and 3rd to move up and give Trevor Lawrence that type of target, like I wouldn't hate that type of move either for them.
I still don't think Pitts goes that high.
Really, eh?
I'm not saying he's not worth it. He's a tight end though. Like I don't think tight ends go that high unless you're TJ Hawkinson. And Kyle Pitts is a better receiver than TJ Hawkinson. He's not a better blocker.
Oh, I would take him in a heartbeat over Hawkinson. I love Hawkinson. Like that's how good I think Kyle Pitts
I'm sure we would as fantasy players because Pitts is the more attractive fantasy option. But Hawkinson, in terms of NFL teams, I feel like would not be rated higher. That I think most NFL GMs are going to have higher grades on Hawkinson than they would on Pitts.
That's kind of like comparing, like, who would you rather have, Kelce or Kittle?
Is Kelce Pitts in this scenario?
Yeah, Kelce would be Pitts and Kittle would be
Hawkinson. I would rather have Kittle.
Respectable. Like that's so close to me, and at the same time, like Pitts is so advanced as a receiver at this age, at this young age that he's at. Like, what is he, 21 years old, and he's already?
Yeah, but that's not how is he going to get on the field though if he can't block?
You don't need to block now.
I'm not saying he can't block. I'm just saying if he's not able to adjust to NFL blocking schemes, he's not going to get on the field regardless of how good of a receiver.
Well, how does
unless he goes to like some elite situation that knows how to use him as like a flex tight end or whatever. That's not like you can't project that without knowing where he went first.
How does Waller get used though? How does Evan Ingram get used? Right?
Yeah, but they use him correctly. We don't know how they're going to use Pitts.
That's fair. I mean,
like an NFL coach might draft him and want him to be a traditional tight end, basically.
And I would fire that head coach within 2 games if he's doing that.
That's facts, but that could happen.
Fair. Hunter Henry killed me in the championship when he got put. Yeah, that's pain. That's pain, Caesar. Got Wall in the
So did I.
Yeah, I got him in a good amount of leagues too. Actually, in one of my dynasty leagues, I've said this multiple times, but I'm gonna give you a little rundown. 2 tight end premium league. I ended up trading away Preston Williams and Ian Thomas for Darren Waller this offseason, right before the rookie draft. Because Preston Williams getting hyped because Devontae Parker's got to regress, and Ian Thomas was getting hyped because there's so many more targets and so much more volume now that Teddy Bridgewater and Joe Brady are in there. Like, you can capitalize on narratives pretty easily around that draft time.
Yeah.
Don't understand why Ekeler keeps. Yeah, I know.
I honestly think he's just been banged up. I don't think they're giving him his full workload.
God, I fucking love Austin Ekeler though, and
me too.
Fantasy community again is going to somehow find him in like the mid to early 2nd round. And I'll take him there any day of the week.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I think everyone's biggest concern that was off of him last year was the offense and Tyrod Taylor. I don't think that's going to be a concern.
But
this year, to be honest,
people are going to hype up like Nick Chubb's going to go ahead of him. We already mentioned like 7 other running backs are probably going to go ahead of him.
I don't think so. Dude. I think Ekeler goes to the back of the first.
I would take him there 100%. But
I would too. But I think that's where he goes. I don't think anyone's going to be too off of him this time.
Who would you be your first? Yeah,
CMC.
Yeah. We'll get into it in the video too, but we'll basically outline like what CMC basically represents from the fantasy community. Because if you're looking at it, I mean, this guy gets the rushing volume of a Dalvin Cook with the receiving volume of an Alvin Kamara, and you just can't match that.
Yeah, you can't. It's the reason that Derrick Henry will never be higher than CMC as long as they're both healthy is because Again, maybe if you played in a standard league, it's different, but everyone pretty much plays in some form of PPR leagues nowadays. So, kamara, CMC just has to be the 101. The fact that he got injured, I'm not like pulling a fantasy football counselor and saying that like that's why you should have drafted him.
Like, first of all, a counselor is pathetic. If you guys don't know who,
I don't even take him seriously. I think it's just
hilarious. No. I laugh about that, but
I honestly don't think he like actually is serious half the time. I think he's like totally fucking joking around,
creating a persona.
I think he's just a meme, and he knows it.
Yeah. Do you remember when he fucking challenged Le'Veon Bell to box?
Yeah. See, that can't be real. Like he can't be actually thinking that.
Oh yeah, I'd take you on. Like, get out of here.
Honest to God, he should go even more overboard because it's like it actually probably gets him like more clout than he deserves.
Oh, for sure. Y'all gonna be doing live streams as well as videos in the offseason? Yes. Talking about live streams real quick. Like again, if you guys were with us last offseason, we basically we
live streamed the entire draft last year, and we're probably gonna do it again. So
live stream the draft. I mean, we even like dynasty rookie.
We did it during the free agency period too, when free agency opened and stuff. We'll probably do the same.
Yeah, sleeper mock drafts, like everything. We did a lot of live streams and like just engage with you guys, chilling with you guys, maybe chugging back a brew, just chilling. So definitely down to do that again. I knew Montgomery was doing good, but there's not a chance I'm drafting him. LMAO. I'm curious to see where his value is going to be. Like,
it's going to be a very, very, very interesting conversation next year.
Like,
I think he goes. Who would you take over next year? You know who I'm going to ask about, aren't you?
Go.
David Montgomery or Joe Mixon?
I'm taking Montgomery, man.
I have to know what happens at quarterback first.
No,
based on the situation, Joe Mixon's situation's better. So I'd probably take Joe Mixon, but I would need to know what happens in Chicago.
I'd need to know the quarterback situation in Chicago.
And I need to know if Allen Robinson's back.
I would also need to know the state of the offensive line in Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think a lot of things are going to change. And when we're doing the mock draft, we're going to probably say I anticipate this to happen. I anticipate that to happen too. But Chicago's quarterback situation is going to need to be interesting. I actually low key think they're going to go with Mr. Trubisky one more year. I actually do. I don't know why. I just think they're going to do it. I think they're going to do it.
Now, it would be so Chicago for them to go with Trubisky for one more year and draft.
Kind of sucks that they didn't pick up his option.
Draft like Trask or Mac Jones or something like that. I could just see Chicago doing that. Oh man.
Yeah,
I don't even mind Mac Jones, but just his ceiling is so capped. And if you're gonna have an offense like that you have a stud receiver, you have a running back that's been improving, you could build around that offense. Cole Kmet's looking fine. You want a quarterback that can elevate that team. And
I think people are starting to get away from that now, though, because back in I remember back when I first started watching football, the narrative around quarterback play was always go for safety. Teams were never talking about drafting guys like Justin Herbert super high because they had high arms or big arms and all that kind of stuff until guys like Josh Allen came along, until guys like even Aaron Rodgers.
Pat Mahomes was so raw coming out, but I had him at my quarterback one just because I saw the potential.
I had Watson quarterback one because I was just this guy. There's no way that this guy's a bust. I just didn't think there was any chance he was bust.
I had Watson too. I didn't understand the Trubisky hype that year, but hey, say Louis.
Yeah, but either way, there's TM. I don't think teams are going to like these safe prospects as much as they used to. These Kyle Trasks and stuff. I just don't think teams are very we thought Jake Fromm had a chance at going at the back end of the early second round.
He went fourth round.
He didn't go into the fourth round.
Yeah, and talking about it real quick, I don't even view Kyle Trask as safe. I mean, you guys will find out my
no, but you know what I mean though.
Weak arm type players. At least Mac Jones, I think can develop into a Kirk Cousins type player. Where hey, if you get that guy at the end of the mid second round, okay, you go for it all to you. But if you're giving that guy first round money and he doesn't even develop into a Kyle or Kirk Cousins type player, then you're out $8 million.
I also don't think you can win with that kind of quarterback anymore. There's too many of these guys in the NFL now. These Mahomeses and these Watsons and these Herberts now. You guys might be surprised to me saying that. I think Herbert's getting there by next year if he's not already there already.
Yeah, for example, the main difference makers again, Aaron Rodgers. First of all, I thought he was going downhill these past few years. He just said "fuck you" to that narrative and he said, "Nah, I'm gonna go win MVP just to prove all you guys fucking wrong."
For what it's worth, Brady's doing it too.
Yeah.
Brady has 36 touchdowns or 38 touchdowns or something like that right now.
Yeah, not at the same level as Rodgers, in my opinion, but
No. But the way that, because we're seeing the dichotomy, right? We're seeing Phillip Rivers look washed. Not even Phillip Rivers.
Rivers doesn't even look bad.
Yeah, he's going to look that bad recently. He looked really bad earlier in the season, but Like Ben Roethlisberger looks bad. Like Drew Brees doesn't look that good. Like Rodgers and Brady and I mean I guess Rivers to some degree. They're starting to look a little bit younger. That throw that Brady made to Antonio between those two defenders was ridiculous. That I can't believe he made that throw at 43.
Also, playoffs don't matter because no one's beating the Chiefs. I agree. I think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl, but I am not counting out this Packers team. Not at all. The way Aaron Rodgers and the way Devontae Adams is playing, they can hang 40 on any team. Like, and I'm going to be brutally honest. Like, again, like I was lower on Rodgers in the offseason. That guy is playing like the best quarterback in football.
Fuck you football. He's saying fuck you to me, you, everyone else that said he was done after this year.
He was my main, like we'll talk about it this offseason. He was my main bust at the
He was a guy that I literally wouldn't draft if you paid me.
Me neither. I didn't think he had upside.
No, neither did I. I thought his upside was like
30 touchdowns and like 5 picks and no rushing scores. Like,
yeah,
that's what I thought he would do. And
he's been incredible this year, and then he's really shut us up.
Unreal.
I think there's a couple teams that can beat the Chiefs.
I think the Packers are at the top of that list.
In the NFC, if we're in the Super Bowl,
the Bucks,
New Orleans can beat the Chiefs. I think they can, and the Packers can beat them. And I think if Tampa plays the way they're capable of playing, they can beat them. I don't think that's going to happen this year. It'll probably take till next year, but they could beat them if they played like they're not going to play as well as they did against Detroit, against Kansas City, or a team like that, but if they played that well in terms of the way they played, like mistake-free against, or the Packers game or earlier in the season, if they play like that against the Chiefs, they can beat them.
Yeah, no, I agree. Again, I only think there's like realistically, like call me crazy. I only think there's 5 teams.
I think the Bills are the only team that can beat the Chiefs in the NFC. In the AFC.
Bills.
I think the Ravens can do it.
Ravens maybe like if they
I don't
get
think
the run game, if they get the run game going early and like Lamar Jackson's been playing like he has these past.
That's not the way those game scripts have gone against the Chiefs, though.
That's fair.
Like for whatever reason, they know how to beat the Ravens defense early.
Yeah. Again, like they're obviously the Chiefs are a heavy favorite, but that's fair. Yeah. Just imagine the Cowboys next year when Dak is back. Like that's gonna be a fun division.
Like, he's a Raiders fan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about it. Okay. Dak back next year. Hopefully Washington doesn't get a huge, like if Washington gets one of the top 4 quarterbacks, I really do think they're going to be another playoff team again. But like,
or if they get a good veteran, if they traded for Matt Stafford or Matt Ryan or something, it'd be a good team.
Matt Ryan, lesser degree, because I think he's kind of washed, but Matt Stafford especially, like,
I mean, Matt Stafford's had so many injuries though that he could be in that borderline. Just he's washed too.
And hopefully it's just not Dak. We're good there because as long as we have the best quarterback in the division, we have a chance. I have a friend that said I think it's easier for Brady to win another Super Bowl rather than Mahomes to win 3 in his career.
I mean, Brady's got about 2 years to do that. So, I mean, I actually think Brady's roster is better, but the Chiefs coaching staff, like up and down the field, proved that they're better than the Bucks coaching staff. So, yeah, I disagree. I think Mahomes, one, is a better quarterback right now. He's a better quarterback for the next few years. He has a better coaching staff around him, and all that just means he's going to probably be in the Super Bowl like probably 5 or 6 more times in his career.
Yeah, like he's the most talented quarterback I've seen. Him and Rodgers are the 2 most talented quarterbacks I've ever watched.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? I'm up 21 in my championship. I'm done. Other person has digs. Fingers crossed, man. Hopefully you clutch that out.
Close.
How do you think Saquon Barkley will do next year? I think he's going to be fine.
I think he's going to shut Danny up.
We're definitely going to have to make some offseason.
I think he's going to be the RB1 in fantasy next year.
We'll take some bets.
Again, all depends on the situation and what happens around him. But I think his ceiling is tremendous.
I'll say this real quick. Face up. Actually, we're going to be having this decision in the mock draft we're doing. So we'll talk about it after the stream. LOL. Need Stephon Diggs to get 9 points tonight and get my money back. Good luck to you, Manu. He also says, okay, my friends and I are doing a keeper league for next year. What's your best advice for rules and setting it up? Any idea what players to target as keepers for next year? Okay, so the way my league personally does keepers that we're doing right now is we can keep any 2 players and a rookie. I've heard other instances where you can keep anybody picked after the 8th round or 10th round or whatever.
I kind of like those. I kind of like those keeper leagues because then you keep the smoke at the top of the draft. Like for the most part, I'm sure there's a couple guys that'll be first, second, third round picks that you got in the after the 8th round. But I don't really like the idea of being able to pick whoever or keep whoever you want and keep like you get rid of your first round pick if you keep Alvin Kamara, for example.
Yeah.
I kind of like it being a little bit deeper, potentially rookie stuff like that. I'm not the biggest fan of keeper leagues in general, but I think we're going to be doing one next year. And I want to propose the idea that you can only pick players that you drafted after like the 5th round or something like that. Cause I don't really want to have people keeping like Christian McCaffrey and players like that.
Because I want access to them every year.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like if you pick and in terms of like how long you keep players, what do you usually do?
3 years.
3 years, yeah.
So 3 years, normal player, and then if you pick a rookie, you get 1 year rookie eligibility on them to keep as a rookie, and then after that rookie year, like if you want to keep them again, you have to use a normal player eligibility. So technically speaking, like you can keep 2 vets and a rookie. The following year, say you want to keep that rookie again, you can't keep
rid of that.
Yeah. So that's how we do it. I think we might be reverting back to a normal redraft because it's kind of the same issue. Somebody had a bad draft, or a couple people had bad drafts first year. Now they're stuck with like Deshaun Watson and like Julio Jones as like their 2 keepers. When like meanwhile I'm keeping like Alvin Kamara, Jonathan Taylor, and Michael Thomas. Yeah. So it's like also like you hear how pretty special those fucking keepers are going in the next year. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why we're thinking of going back to redraft, because it's just like you want access to any player and any.
Yeah, that's why we're making what we're probably going to do. My home league is a 12-man league, but probably I would say 8 or 10 of us are like the true diehards, and then the other 3 guys are more like casual-ish kind of guys. And we want to start a keeper league of 8 to 10 guys and do that kind of situation, because those guys, I mean, they're probably not going to want to do it. Plus, they always come in last every year. So
I feel that.
Oh, there's a little flea flicker.
Oh, yeah, the game's on. Let's finish this up, and then we'll get going. 6 points in championship. Other guys, Buffalo defense. Good luck there, Braden. Hopefully Buffalo doesn't get too many then.
I'll take that one on the chin if you're listening to me for that one.
Not to mention, again, I will take the chance on the guy that had Chris Herndon's projected upside this year in the last round of any single draft.
Yeah, because so for those of you that know, maybe potentially that's the first video you saw on this channel. He was in that sleepers video that is currently our highest viewed video on the channel, and I really thought Chris Herndon was going to be great this year. I thought the way that they were talking him up, the way that Adam Gase, who hates everybody, but for whatever reason didn't hate Chris Herndon, the way Sam Darnold had a connection with him last year, 2 years ago, his rookie year, all that kind of stuff, to me added up to Chris Herndon having a big season this year. He ended up getting injured early on in the season, and then the offense was just a complete train wreck after that. But I drafted Chris Herndon in a lot of places too, and I ended up just dropping him after like the first 2 weeks.
For sure. For week 17, pick 3, Montgomery, Kamara, Henry, Taylor. Wow, you have to sit one of those. And if that's the case, the one I'm sitting is going to probably be Montgomery. Actually, no, Montgomery plays the Packers. Let me check the matchups real quick. I haven't really looked into week 17 of fantasy.
Yeah. For those of you that do play week 17 of fantasy, I'm not doing a start sit show for week 17. So if you have any questions relating to your lineups or whatever, just tune into the live streams that we do. We'll answer them there, and we'll also put our rankings on the site so that you can see them there. But we're not going to be doing any start sit shows or rankings videos for week 17 fantasy, because neither of us play in them.
Yeah, for sure. Taking these matchups for the guys that he has in these. Okay. So you got Montgomery against the Packers.
JT has Jags.
JT has the Jags.
Henry has the Texans.
And Kamara has the Panthers.
Oh my God. Montgomery. He said Montgomery, I guess.
I said Montgomery, yeah. That's crazy though. Like that, those are all top 10 matchups.
Oh shit, we didn't answer the trend MBD before the game started.
Which one?
For MBD, Roddy or whatever. We forgot to answer that before the game started. Sorry, we were babbling on like a bunch of idiots.
Sorry about that, MBD. I
would have started Cole Beasley. I hope that's who you started.
Yep, hopefully.
I just made a bet against him with Jacoby Myers.
See, I love going to Madden. Oh yeah, I gotta finish those last batch of solos. What chill factor are you right now?
13. I don't really care about the
17 right now.
The rewards. I don't really care about.
I got this random frozen freaking Evan Ingram that I have to use a hot cocoa on.
Yeah, I already did that. He's like my 3rd tight end now.
Yeah, he'd be my 2nd after Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
Okay. Good thing. Sorry about that, MBD.
Sorry, we didn't see that.
But yeah, What you guys think
I
about
like
the
it.
new
I honestly
Yeah.
like it. I like the one team gets a bye thing. I really like. I think that's the thing I like most about it. The 7th team, I mean, it's not going to be bad this year. I think the 7th team in both conferences this year is going to be kind of deserving as a playoff team, maybe unless it's Chicago, but the way they're playing, I guess they kind of deserve it right now. But yeah, I actually really like the playoff format. I like the fact that there's a lot more games on wildcard weekend. It'll make it really exciting.
Yeah, for
There's
real.
going to be what? How many? 6 games on wildcard weekend? 3 in each conference?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that'll be fun as hell. So we're gonna have
including
like a 1 p.m. game, a 4 p.m. game, and then a night game for Saturday and Sunday of wildcard weekend, probably, right?
Including potentially the Cowboys and Bucks.
If the Cowboys and Bucks play each other and you win, I'm gonna be so mad.
Dude,
the last time, like a really bad team, like the last couple times actually, that a division winner who was under 500, made the playoffs. The Seahawks knocked off the Saints in the Beastquake game, and then the Panthers. I don't remember who they beat in their game, but they beat their team too that they played.
The Vikings.
I don't even remember, but they were what, like 7-9 that year. That was 2000.
7-8-1, 7-9, something like that.
Yeah,
2013, I believe.
How much?
Was that 2000? I think
No,
it
it
was
2010. I think it was 2010.
No,
that
was
the Seahawks. That was the Seahawks.
2013 was the Panthers, I believe. Let me check, because 2015 they were dominant. 2000. Let me see. Wildcard playoffs. I think it was 2013. Let me check. Because the Eagles lost in the first round that year, or maybe. How do I see the bracket? Was it 2004, 2017 then? 2016? Oh, it wasn't. No, okay. It must have been 2014.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right to me, because we had, that makes sense, because we picked 7th that year and we picked Evans. The Falcons picked Jake Matthews really high, and the Saints had they picked Brandon Cooks in that year, so maybe the Saints won the division that year.
I don't even know.
Oh no, but then the Panthers. Yeah, I know that was the right year. It was 14.
Yeah, let me.
Anyways, let's get through these last couple questions, and then we'll get out of here because we gotta head over to the thing.
Sounds good. Yep. Who are your top 4 quarterbacks on your boards, and where do you think you go? Okay.
Full disclosure, I haven't watched all of them yet, so I can't tell you who my top 4 are currently. From what I've seen thus far, it's currently Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, and Trey Lance, but I have not watched any of them in depth yet. I've seen a lot more of Trevor Lawrence than the other guys, but just because of the school he plays for,
and probably a lot of Justin Fields as well.
I want to, especially with Justin Fields, I'm not watching anything until the playoffs.
Fields versus
beat some good teams.
Fields versus Wilson is so close for me, but like I would have the exact same order as you.
Lawrence is clearly in a tier of his own.
Yes, dude. Like he's
at least what I've seen.
Can you name one like flaw with him as a prospect? Like arm there, accuracy, arm there, accuracy there, mobility there, IQ there.
We don't know his like personality. I guess that could be considered a flaw. If we don't know if he's like
maybe
the only thing that could deter Trevor Lawrence from being a successful NFL quarterback is just absolutely horrible landing spot circumstances that he has potentially, which could be mitigated by the fact he's not going to the Jets anymore. And 2, above the shoulders. Like if he just, for whatever reason, he just doesn't work hard, or like, we don't know this about him, but that could be like a thing.
Yeah, for real. I thought it was... Yeah, facts. DJ Chark, I'm assuming you're referring to. Yeah,
I think he's talking about Saquon.
Heard it.
Oh, true. I thought he was talking about Saquon at first.
Any idea when the next stream will be since fantasy is over?
We'll do streams before all the playoffs games and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
too.
Yeah.
Like I don't think we have Thursday Night Football this week, but we'll do a Sunday morning stream, maybe for like an hour or something. Probably not as long as we normally go, just because there's probably less fantasy related questions. We'll just be kind of shooting the shit. For playoff live streams, we'll probably just do some like DFS talk, showdown talk, and
maybe a nice little
some predictions.
Maybe a nice little pick 'em playoff.
Me and Danny might even just do like. Do you want to do like a bets series or something?
Yeah, we could do that, or we got to make a playoff predictions video prior to the playoffs.
Yeah, we do have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do against the spread picks for the play. Actually, do you want to just do straight up winning pickers?
Yeah, straight up win. Like create our own bracket or something like that. Like that would be fun.
Yeah, we could do that.
But yeah, Started Beasley, good stuff. And all right, see you there. See y'all there. Appreciate you guys joining the live stream. Quick hour. We're currently at 59:15. And we'll see you guys before next Sunday's set of games. Hopefully the Cowboys can make the playoffs, because I want to see Cowboys versus Bucks.
I want to see Cowboys versus Bucks too, because I don't want to play the Washington football team.
Oh, you wouldn't rather play?
I would
our
much rather
defense?
play you guys in the Washington football team.
I'm joking. All right, take it easy, y'all.